Hi everybody, Jo here. Welcome to another little crafty session with me. I hope you're feeling well and I hope today is going okay. Another start to another new week. So many possibilities. Now today we're going to do another page in our calendar, and today we're looking at June. And this is the idea I've come up with. And as you can see, I've practiced it on my piece of card, but also it gives me an idea of how it's going to look. But also it's for you card makers out there, or if you want to put a page in your journal, if you're not joining on with this lovely calendars, you can still use these designs, cards, journals, or even in a picture frame. Now, the idea for this one, the inspiration came from, as always, the designs that Tracy's popped. Now, today, the design isn't on the base of the page, it's here. So what I've done, I can just move this up a little bit, is, and as you know, I like to do this first, I've just coloured lovely Bumble and Hum in, and then I've added a little bit of stamping at the base, just so that when our design is finished, we get that lovely cohesive design, and when it's hung up, it will all go together. So that's my idea, and as I say, this is the type of design we're going to create. Now what I've done is I've just masked off with my Lavinia, my Low Tac Tape look. I've just masked off these two sides because I'm going to leave this one open. But I just need a little bit here and here. So I'm going to add into those corners as well with my Low Tac Tape. Now I know a few of you have been in touch and said that you don't do cards this large because obviously this is quite large to go in our calendar. So what I have done is I've taken a smaller piece of card, one of our A6 pieces of the multifarious card, and I've created the same design using the same stamps but just scaled it down. And this one, I've actually taken the ink, the lovely Sahara, right to the edges of the frame. So just to show you that you can just scale up and scale down the images. And I have to say, for me, I love this. It's almost vintage. It's sort of a monochromatic theme, but with a vintage sort of tones to it. Now, I just need to add a little bit more Low Tac tape. So, as always, I'm just going to turn my work a little. And I just do this by eye, sort of going off. I'm using the circles here, the spine almost, and then turn it round. And I just find it easier for me to turn it round. Oh, I'm just at the end here. I wonder if I've got enough. I better get myself a new one. And then I'm just using the edge. Oh, that's just enough. Look at that. Now, I bet I can find a use for this. I'm going to keep that. Do you do that? We're crafters, aren't we? We keep everything. Right, I'm going to put that over there. And what I tend to do is I put copy paper under my page just so that if I go off the edge, it doesn't go onto the pages underneath. And I've also got myself a piece of copy paper just to protect the base here, because I know what I'm like and I try and keep it as clean as possible, and I don't want to get anything on that area that I've already added my design to. So when I was sort of thinking about this, I look at colours that are going to go together. So I had a look at my Versafine Clair, which I tend to use permanent ink, so that's my stamping ink, and I've gone for Pinecone in the brown. And then I'm introducing some lovely Sand Dune and Portobello, and they're a couple of the new colours. If you don't have these, you could use your Pinecone, maybe second, third generation. And again, when I'm looking at colours, I'm teaming that up with, and my Sahara is going to be my main colour, but I want a little bit of sort of more brown, so I'm going for Truffle. And we'll start off by stamping in the Pinecone, and we're going to use our beautiful forest leaf. I love this stamp. As you know, I do pyrography, the wood burning, and oh, I just love using this. Lavinia stamps, the detail that Tracy gives us, it works so well. So I'm just going to come in. This is really my main of my corner design, so I want one here coming in from this lovely corner. And then because I'm thinking my corner design, and don't worry, if where the masking tape is here, you miss a little bit, don't worry. That's where I'm going to add the deeper ink, so nobody will ever know, because we won't tell them, will we? And I just want one, so I'm just going to turn it round to sort of come along the base here. And then one more just up this edge. Now, if I was clever, I could work out exactly which part to ink up, but it takes me too long to think that bit, I think, but I tend to just ink the whole thing up. But that's probably just me. You're probably cleverer than me, and you probably know exactly which bit. Lovely. Now, don't worry that we've inked more on the masking tape. That's fine. So now I'm going to come in with my Twilight Lily. And I'm going to go to my lighter colour now. So this is the Sand Dune. And again, nice lot of ink because it's a beautiful detailed stamp. And I'm going to stamp 2 of these. And again, sort of looking at that direction, thinking which way, if this is a corner design, it would flow. And I just left those little spaces. I was being mindful. I had an idea in my head. I'm going to put the ink back in with its lid on. So in this space here, and again, lovely. So that just is building up, as you can see, that beautiful corner design. Now I've just got a couple of little spaces, so that's where the field grass is going to come in. It's a lovely filler, this, and I'm going to use the Portobello for this. And it's just to fill some spaces, so I'm thinking maybe little one there, and then second generation there. Maybe a little bit of third just there. Well, that's nice. So again, you're getting those, even though we're using 3 different Versafine Clair ink pads, we are getting different tones. And I'm just going to take the first off there so I can have second there and third there. So do remember to do that. It just gives you, as I say, more tones with these lovely brown colours. Now we're going to come in with Bumble and Hum. And we're going to use Pinecone. So just let me think. So where are we going to have? We'll stamp the larger one first. And I think he's going to be flying off over here. He's had enough. He's full of his pollen and he's off. So now I'm just stamping 3 because obviously we like the rule of 3, don't we? Nice odd number. So I'm thinking, I want one down here. So maybe that sort of angle. And then one more over here, sort of going upwards, I think. So I've got that nice, yeah, like that. And then what I'm going to do is, I love the words. I just want to add a little bit of the sentiment in the background. So what I've done is I've taken all 3 of the Bumble words, popped them on my block, and I love to do this. So it actually reads, you're almost making your own, almost larger background sentiment stamp. Just be yourself and bumble on. And I love the way that flows. You know, you are telling somebody, just be yourself and bumble on. Just bumble through life. Do you know what? I think that's just lovely. I do think, you know, sometimes people take themselves too seriously and we get so worked up and, oh, I mean, I'm the same, doing something like this and you think, what if I get a mark on it? What if it doesn't work out right? We just need to relax and enjoy it, don't we? And what you'll find is when you relax and enjoy it, do you know what? Actually, it works a lot better. The instant you worked up, it's when somebody wants a special card, isn't it? You know, right, I'm using the Sand Dune, so I'm going for the lighter colour. So yeah, it's when you've got that pressure, that special card, and especially when it's last minute. So I'm just going to pop this in a couple of places. So we'll have it one there where you can read that. And I'm thinking here, just there. Once more just in the corner here. And then I am going to add another one here. You probably won't see it, but I know it's there. And often when we're making a design, we know it's there. Right, so lids on the ink pads, and I've less chance of popping my hand in them. I'm just going to get myself a spare piece of copy of paper and give this a blot. Just because I'm going to blend my Elements ink now, and I don't want to smudge that lovely, lovely work that we've done. It might be there's nothing on here. There's a little look, so it was worth doing. So we'll file that on the floor next to Eric. He's had his walk and he's happily snoring away here. So if you do hear him, I do apologise. So the first colour I'm going to use is the lovely Sahara. And I've got my larger stencil brush here. And as always, in the lid. And I'm just going to start at the corner and add some ink. Now the beauty with this is I'm not going to spend a long time colouring the flowers because I'm just going to use this ink to give me that lovely background colour. And I'm just going over where the flowers are, where the words are. Now it's up to you at this point. I'm going to leave this area white. But when I made the smaller, when I made the card look, I actually went round the whole frame. So it's up to you. You've got choices here. But I'm just going to come to these little areas. Right, I'm going to stop there for the minute because I'm going to add that deeper colour now. So I'm moving down to my number 3 brush and coming in with the Truffle. And again, using the lid as my mixing palette. And I'm going to start in this corner. Just move this down a little so you can see. Just check you can see. And we're just going to bring a little bit of colour in and just coming off that masking tape. And it'll just ground the design. And it just deepens that frame. And again, ink up from the lid. Start in the corner. And then as I've got less ink, up to the top. Because I don't want it as deep. And then what I'm actually going to do is just colour these lovely large leaves on that forest leaf stamp with the brown and the brush, just to add a bit more interest. And we've got one here, look. And again, it's just a quick way. The number 3 brush is a lovely quick way of adding colour. I say I don't want to overcolour, add too much detail, but I like that. It just deepens that corner. Right, happy with that? So we'll add a little bit of colour now to our lovely bumblebees. And because this is where I have to think and be mindful, I want to almost keep it the monochromatic, the browns. So I've not gone for my more normal yellow and orange. I've actually gone for numbers 29 and 30. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Just to add a little bit of sort of shape to them. And again, these are my Aquarelle, our lovely watercolour pencils. Just a little bit on the wing, look. Quite funny when you're doing this. I do get carried away sometimes and get other colours out, and then I think, no. So for me, it's best to choose your colours before you start, and then you're less likely of wandering into the wrong colour groups. Wink of Stella. First of all, my clear. And I'm just going to come in and do the lovely wings and just drag a little bit of that colour. So it just gives them sparkle, but also a wee bit of colour, not too much. And then in to blend that lovely browns. And just keeping that deeper one at the base, just to give him a bit of shape. And we'll just clean that off on the masking tape. And then I've got the lovely gold here. And I'm just going to add, just at the base, look, I don't want to do it all gold, but I just want to add, and I'll lift this up in a minute to show you. And it's only a little bit, but I think it makes all the difference. And if you're not happy with your gold, just go back over with your silver, clear, and drag it out a little bit, because you can move it. And that's the whole point of this. It's almost blending these colours. So your Wink of Stella blend beautifully. And again, just clean my nib there. And I'll just see if I can lift that up. Can you see? Now remember, Wink of Stella, it will sparkle more as it dries. But I'm hoping I've just shown you that sparkle, but also that gold. And obviously the gold keeps to those lovely brown colour tones. So last of all, again, I'm going to come in with my yellow. Now, you know I love this. It's my yellow sparkle. If you don't want to add any splats, I mean, it might be you want to add some white ones. You could bring white in. I'm just going for the, you know, I love this pen. But if you want to leave them off, by all means do. If you want to add white, white would look lovely. And just a few here. And again, I'm directing it, look, I'm quite near the page. Stops it going everywhere. Couple up here. Now, I may just add, see if I can get one or two there. I don't want to go too much, don't want to overcook it, do I? And let's take this away. Now, before I take my tape off, I'm just going to pop my heat tool on. And as you know, I mean, the Lavinia Low Tac Tape comes off beautifully, but I always like to just give it a heat. It'll help that Wink of Stella and the Posca. But also, look, it just means that this Low Tac Tape will peel off. Oh, look at that, beautifully. Because obviously you've done all that work. You don't want to risk any of it, do you? Right. And there we go. So we've got that lovely vintage. I take this copy of paper out. We'll file that over there. I'll see if I can get the whole. So at the base, I just stamped a couple of the flowers that we've used. And again, put the Sahara. Just so that the whole thing. And I think that's such a beautiful vintage feel to the page. So that's June. I'm just going to have a sneaky look to see what we've got in July. Oh, look, she says, and you can't see, we've got the geese at the base in July. Oh, so I can't wait to see what I'm going to do with those. And just to bring in, to remind you, there's the same design on a card and on a smaller card design. So whether you're doing your beautiful calendar page, whether you're creating scrapbook, journals, or smaller cards, I think you could create a lovely design with those stamps. So thanks for popping in. As always, thanks for spending time with me. I do love our time together. It's so special. You take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Got a lovely new product tomorrow to share with you. That's all I'm saying. You take care. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.